They come from all across the world, from many different lands. The brave from Britain, the confident from America, the determined from Japan, and anyone else, anywhere else, who wants to step up to the challenge. 100 challengers compete across a 4-stage obstacle course devised by the devil. Success means glory. Failure means humiliation. It truly is win or die. Many have tried. Very few have succeeded. But they all have one goal: to become the next champion. This is Ninja Warrior of Halo! Hello guys, I'm Hunting751 and welcome back to Ninja Warrior of Halo. 40 competitors have stepped up to stage 1 so far in the 23rd NIWA tournament, and so far we have seen unprecedented amounts of success, with 5 competitors already moving on. Sonic, Booker Taco, Joey Davis, Wolf Ninja and Petrillo are the ones who have already booked their place in stage 2, and their appearances have been spread across the board, with each one of them making their first, second, third, fourth or fifth appearance. The young new generation is truly stepping up to the plate, so the question now is, how many more will have what it takes to join these 5 competitors on stage 2? It's time to find out. The next competitor stepping up onto the course is a returning one. This is Genzo, back today for her 5th appearance. She used to be known as Charlie and Owen. Now she's changed her gamer tag to Genzo and is looking to get revenge on the ball drop, which she failed in the last tournament. She's gone out on the 3rd obstacle in each of her last 3 appearances. So hoping today could be the day she can break through, as a few other competitors have. She makes her way nicely through the 12 timbers onto the curtain slider. New experience, new obstacle for her, just like it is for everybody else. And now for the ball drop. Pushes the ball to get it rolling. Off to a fast start, keeping it under control, but now for the drops. First one survived, second one took her out last time, but not this time. Genzo, a personal best. We've seen quite a few competitors get to grips with the 3rd obstacle. They're setting personal best by getting past the 3rd obstacle in this tournament. Genzo making her way through the jumping spider nicely too, looking to extend that personal best even further. Now for the half pipe attack as she flies up the half pipe attack. What a technique! What a move! Just using the wall brilliantly. 40 seconds left on the clock as she hits the warped wall. This is a fantastic run. Can't get up the warped wall on the first attempt though. Taking a long run up. Is that gonna work? No, it won't. Second try, no good. 3rd attempt, not close as well. This is the wrong technique and it's cost Genzo dearly. 20 seconds left. This run was looking fantastic, but the warped wall, as it has for a couple of other competitors, that was really close. This warped wall has really devastated the field today. 10 seconds as the klaxon sounds. Is she going to be beaten by the warped wall? No, she won't. She's under the slider jump, but this is just pride now. The clock is done. She is done. She lands on the slider jump, but she runs out of time. But what an incredible performance from Genzo, not just in terms of setting a great new personal best, but also one of the all-time great female performances on this course. Next up we have Budro, a newcomer, and a competitor that I have a very obscure coincidence with, because this guy's a part of Joey's clan, one of several competitors competing in this tournament that's part of Joey's clan, or the clan that Joey is also in. But I've also ran into this guy competing in Halo Racing, and I think in maybe Spiteful's custom lobbies? Definitely in the racing, so it's really obscure, a very obscure coincidence to see this guy, or to bump into this guy again, now competing today here on NIWA as he makes it through the first 2 obstacles. This guy, along with the next competitor and a few other competitors that we've already seen in this tournament, been trained up by Joey Davis. Joey's definitely got the squad, the Joey squad out today, and he'd love it if one of them could join him on stage 2. Budro taking his time to get off the ball drop, but does get through it and is happy about it. But now for an even tougher test in the jumping spider. He lines it up, taking more time, jumps a little bit early. Is he going to make it? No, he doesn't. He comes up short, and Budro goes down on the jumping spider. From one member of the Joey clan to another. Next up we have Scullen, another newcomer. Let's see how this guy's gonna fare. I think it's a guy. Pretty sure this isn't a girl. We've had a lot of females compete today, but I'm pretty sure Scullen is not one of them. And look at that technique as he flies through the 12 timbers. That's clearly good training from Joey. And he quickly into the curtain slider as well. Is he going to nail this? Yes, he does. Does not go too fast. And now for the ball drop. This is a good start, and that's what you need. This time limit, it's not tight, but it's also not the most lenient if you start off slowly, and Scullen has definitely started off fast. As he slips off the front of the ball on the ball drop. That was looking to be a great run, but he just lost his bearings, and he suffers an earlier exit than he would have liked. But now from a newcomer to a competitor who has stood on the start line of this course many times. More times than almost anyone else. There are very few competitors that can say they are more experienced than this competitor. Stepping up for his sweet 16th appearance on this course is the veteran Sakeshi. After his performance in Tournament 16, when he reached the finish line of Stage 1 for the second time in his career, but sadly ran out of time, since then things have been a lot trickier for Sakeshi on the Xbox One. First, he couldn't crack the jumping spider, going out on it in Tournament 17 on the MCC, and then again in Tournament 19 on his first Halo 5 appearance. In his 2 appearances since then, he has fared even worse, not even getting to the jumping spider, going out on the 3rd obstacle in both of the last 2 tournaments, including on his landmark 15th appearance last time out when he failed the ball drop, an obstacle he had defeated 3 times in the past. So I think it's fair to say Sakeshi's been in a little bit of a rut recently, and he would very much like to get out of that rut here today in the final Halo 5 tournament, and he's starting off strong. This is nice from Sakeshi. Nice turn of pace that we haven't always seen from him. Is this a man, has he put in the training? Has he put in that extra little bit of training to try and put his best foot forward? We're about to find out. It's time for revenge on the ball drop, Sakeshi. Failed this in the last tournament, but he knows he can beat this obstacle. He looks to be in pretty solid control. Come on, just got to get the dismount, Sakeshi. And he has done. Finally back to the jumping spider. But can he now beat this obstacle? He's failed it twice before. He hits the trampoline nicely and gets into the spider. Only the second time he's experienced the inside of a spider. The first time was on his famous Stage 2 attempt. He couldn't beat it in Tournament 11, but he beats it today. And now it's time for the half-pipe attack. He jumps, he misses the head slide, and he's out on the half-pipe attack. It's Sakeshi.
Let's go.
Sakeshi?
Yeah.
Nice. Exact pipe attack.
No!
Oh.
Jumped a little early.
I mean,
Damn it,
I don't mean to be
tacos.
Debbie Downer, but with that bounce, I thought for sure he came up short.
Yeah, I thought he came up short as well.
I don't know
I
how
don't think he was
got up on
expecting
it.
to land on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
A difficult way to go out, but I think Sakeshi can be very happy with that. He sets his best performance on Halo 5 today, going out on the half-pipe. Well, following on from that, we had more competitors step up to the course, including Fix the Wi-Fi, back for his second appearance. He went out early on his debut last time out, but he fared a little bit better today, getting into the inside of the jumping spider before overshooting one of the jumps. Then we had Full Sending, who did anything but full send, because he didn't know what to do on the trampoline, and flopped into the water. Big Daddy Ski, what some obscure gamer tags here. somehow managed to fail the dismount of the 12 timbers. And then we had another returning competitor. Riku went out on the curtain slider, like many others, failing the dismount. Finally, newcomer Cobra, promising based on his newcomer appearances on other courses. He was looking strong on this course, but he got held up slightly at the warped wall. And ultimately, it was against the clock and was rushing on the slider jump. His best efforts to try and pick up the pace, flying down the head slide, but ultimately was a little bit too fast and fell on the climb. Which now brings us to the halfway point here in the tournament, our 50th competitor, and this is Noodlewares, the veteran who surprised everyone when he beat Stage 1 2 tournaments ago, but in the last tournament he had a disaster going out early on the ball drop. So now he is hoping to get back to winning ways. As he, oh my goodness, that was a close call there on the 12 timbers. That was not the confidence boosting start that we were hoping to see, but he does survive just about onto the curtain slider. Noodles is hoping to prove that Stage 1 clear 2 tournaments ago was not a fluke, and is hoping to show off the skills that we know he has. Otherwise he wouldn't have been able to beat Stage 1 in Tournament 21. He goes early on the dismount of the ball drop and gets it this time. Takes his revenge, and now it's on to the jumping spider. He lines it up, jumps a little bit early, hits the middle of the trampoline and comes up short. And just like that, Noodles suffers another early exit. Not what he was hoping for. As we move on to Fricket, another competitor hoping that he can get a Stage 1 clear, and he does get inside of the jumping spider, taking a little save jump just to confirm it. This is a classic competitor from the past who returned in Tournament 20. And in both of the last two... What is this technique? It's the spin move, the 180 spin. That seemed to work, I guess. Don't think I've ever seen anyone do that before on the half pipe. Now he's onto the warped wall. Are we going to see another 180 technique? Yes, we are. Is this going to work as well? Yes, it does! Frick it! He's back to the slider jump. He's failed the 7th obstacle, including this one. Both of the last 2 tournaments. He failed this last time. Can he get it this time? He's going slow. He's going low. He takes a save jump, takes another one and misses it! And Frick it goes out on the slider jump. He fails the 7th obstacle of Stage 1 for the 3rd tournament in a row. Frick it, he clearly had a plan, his techniques on the half pipe, on the warped wall, but here on the slider jump, he had a risky technique going that low. We saw Smokey do it in the last tournament. He took that first save jump, but the second save jump, it looked like he hit his head. We're going to be able to tell from this angle. Takes the first save jump, he needed that, and then the second one, he just bonks his head ever so slightly, and that pushes him away, and that's all it took to take down Fricket. As we now move on to a man with a helmet we all recognise, it's Snaz, back for his 11th appearance. Last time it did not go according to plan. His landmark 10th appearance saw him fail the half-pipe attack for the 2nd time, I want to say, as Snaz, like many others, a little bit of lag, but does get the full send strategy on the 12 timbers. Snaz has a little bit of a curse going on right now. He's failed the 5th obstacle, the 7th obstacle, then back to the 5th, then the 7th again. So by law of averages, he's due to fail the slider jump today, but let's hope that does not happen. First he's got to get to the slider jump, and then we'll worry about him beating that obstacle. Snaz making his way smoothly through the ball drop. Now for the jumping spider. He has defeated this obstacle every tournament it's been in since it was introduced in tournament 17. He gets inside the spider again today. One of only 4 competitors that can say he has beaten this obstacle in every tournament, and he continues that record. Now it's time for some revenge. The half-pipe attack. He's failed it twice in the past. He gets a nice ride into the head slide. And Snaz gets the dismount too. 40 seconds. He's still got time. If he can get up the wall in one, he's got a great chance, and he does! Now for the slider jump. His first experience of this obstacle. Can he defeat it? He's going down the head slide slowly, carefully. He crouches, gets to the height, but he misses the landing. Snaz goes down on the slider jump as well. His curse continues on stage 1. Did he get his angles just ever so slightly wrong? He slowed himself up right at the end of the head slide to get height, but he was just ever so slightly too far to the left. And Snaz, it's another great performance, but one that does not result in a stage 1 clear. It's devastating for Snaz. He was looking so good, but sadly, he will not be heading back to stage 2 today. Following on from Snaz's devastating exit, more competitors stepped up, including Aplay, another member of Joey's clan, who looked like he saved himself on the half-pipe attack, but just slipped out the side. Then we had not Drago, but Draco, or Draco, who, like so many others, failed the curtain slider, although actually slightly different. He missed the last bounce. Then we had a veteran from the past, Master Neuromek, who once again went down on stage 1, failing the inside of the jumping spider because he went too fast. That now means he's failed stage 1 4 times in a row after beating it on all of his first 4 appearances. Then we had another returning competitor, Team Taurus. He had a disaster in the last tournament, fared a little better today, but still went down on the half-pipe. Newcomer Superior, he didn't last very long, going down on the 12 timbers, whilst his friend Powers only lasted 2 jumps more. Finally, we had Fadelize, who got to the jumping spider, got in the jumping spider, and then fell out the other side. That now brings us on to our next competitor, and another man who is the host of his own new course.
What is up, and welcome to episode 2, the final episode of Cheese Warrior Tournament 1. Now the transfer across is another tough move, and he's able to absorb it. Those strong fingertips here. Now moving on to the peg cloud. He looks, yeah, you could tell this is, oh my god, and he runs out of energy on the peg cloud. Just didn't look comfortable, looked like he was trying to adjust himself, and his grip gives out, didn't have anything left in the tank.
So this is Daddy Cheese, the host of Cheese Warrior, his own course that he started up since the last tournament, and of course he's continued into Halo Infinite, which is nice to see. Cheese has had a great last 2 tournaments, going out on the 7th obstacle both times, but if anyone was hoping that Cheese would break through and make it 3rd time's the charm today, they might be out of luck, because Cheese has admitted he has not put in a lot of practice for this tournament, although he started out very strong so far. Maybe that's him trying to take the pressure off himself. Reverse psychology. Let's see if it works, as he's going down the ball drop, taking his time a little bit at the end here, but gets through it. Still looking pretty good for the pace as he goes straight for the jumping spider, hits the trampoline, doesn't get a proper bounce, and flops into the water. Cheese does go out early. This jumping spider has been causing quite a few problems, taking out quite a few competitors so far of a wide variety of skills. As we now move on to Spenny 37, Killer the Man, the Kiwi veteran, hoping to bounce back from his slider jump fail that we saw last time out, and instead repeat the impressive performance we saw from him 2 tournaments ago when he got his first stage 1 clear on this course on Halo 5. As he makes his way, like so many others, nicely through the curtain slider, and like Cheese, throws himself onto the ball to get it rolling. Killer. Nicely controlled, never had any problems with this obstacle before, and doesn't again today. And he's never had problems with the jumping spider either. Another one of the 4 competitors that's always beaten this obstacle, but Killer goes down on it! Killer the Man! He was one of only 4 competitors like Snaz that's beaten this obstacle in every tournament it's been in, until today. Killer, the jumping spider, claims another competitor. and it takes down Killer the Man for the first time ever. That is devastating for Killer for such an early exit on stage 1, and a personal worst, I think, but our next competitor will be hoping to avenge his friend. Making his 13th appearance on this course is Sane the Legend. Sane has established himself in the jumping community for his wide variety of parkour and jump maps with varying levels of difficulty and skill. On this course, he made his debut in Tournament 10 and made quite the impact right from the beginning, clearing Stage 1 and became the first newcomer to beat Stage 1 on Halo 4. He had to wait until Tournament 15 to get another taste of success, but when he did, he produced one of the standout performances on this course. He made it all the way to the last obstacle of Stage 3, and in doing so became one of only 9 competitors to finish outright in first place in a Niwa tournament. In Tournament 16, he went even further, producing his personal best, but coming up just short on the final jump of the 3rd stage. Since those 2 incredible performances, Sane has found things a lot tougher. In his 6 appearances since then, he's only beaten Stage 1 once. That came in the first Halo 5 tournament when he went out on the Salmon Ladder. He has failed Stage 1 in his 4 appearances since then, with a wide variety of failures, including in the last tournament when it looked like he had a chance of clearing this stage, but walked off the platform on the slider jump. And now Sane is hoping he can put his best foot forward here in the final Halo 5 tournament, especially having just seen his close friend Killer go down on the jumping spider. Sane, no stranger to failing the jumping spider, failing it 2 tournaments ago. He'll be hoping to avoid that ignominious failure. Is that a word? Did I just make that up? Who knows? We're going to say it is a word. Sane likes to say funny words, actually. Anyway, Sane's onto the ball drop. He's a little all over the place here, standing up, crouching on it, keeping it under control, whatever you have to do. It's a little bit of a slow pace. 70 seconds, already down to 70 seconds, but he is making his way through. Now for the jumping spider. The last 3 competitors have all failed this. Cheese, Killer, but not Sane. He does his little sideways landing that he likes to do. This is where he failed when he did go down on the jumping spider 2 tournaments ago on the inside, but he doesn't do it again today. Time for the half-pipe attack. Can he get through this? He lines it up, goes forward, nicely into it, and drops out. But less than 40 seconds to go now. We've seen a few others. He's going right for it, doesn't get up the wall in one. That could be costly. Second try, no, Sane! 30 seconds now. He has to get up it now. He still can't get up it. Sane! He does now, but with 23 seconds left on the clock, this is going to be a real battle. As he goes for the slider jump where he failed last time. Quick doesn't walk off this time, quickly climbing over the top, but Sane, 10 seconds left on the clock. Sane's not going to have enough time left. He makes it onto the rope ladder, but the klaxon is blaring. It signals his doom, and it is his end. He runs out of time just as the buzzer comes into sight. Sane, his best run in 5 tournaments, and he gets back to Stage 1's finish line, but it's not enough. A little bit of a slow pace right from the start, and then the warped wall cost him dearly. Now, we're going to quickly pause from some of the competitors, regulars and the veterans that we've already seen, to have a look at newcomer Pothole Soup, who decided to look behind him for some reason. He's not behind you. This isn't Panto, buddy. This newcomer is going to use all of the steps, play it cautiously. Obviously not good for time, but he's not worrying about that right now, and he is actually moving through them pretty quickly. Onto the, I don't even know, temp step. Oh, it doesn't matter. He failed anyway. That's a shame. Goodbye, Mr. Soup. Now we can move on to our next competitor, who's going for a hell of a jump. How did he get up onto the giant house? That's interesting. In fact, was that even our competitor? No, it wasn't. I think it was Weapon Matt and maybe Joey. doing that skydive intro, whatever the hell that was. But this is Avow's the Samurai, our actual competitor, who did exactly what Sane just did. Ran out of time on the final obstacle in the last tournament, setting a personal best. Avow's, like most of our last few competitors, since Cheese actually, apart from the newcomer obviously, all of these guys got deep into stage 1 in the last tournament, going out on either the slider jump or failing the final obstacle, or timing out on the final obstacle, but none of them could get the job done. None of them have managed to get the job done so far today, Sane coming the closest. Could Avow's turn the tide? He matched his personal best in tournament 21, then set a new personal best last time out. Can he go one further and get his first stage 1 clear on this course? Get a stage 1 clear like he has done on Smokey's course and on Rog's course, as he's making his way through the jumping spider. 60 seconds left. This is a good pace so far from Avow's as he goes for the half-pipe attack. Beat this in the last tournament, but misses it this time! Avow's drops out earlier than we expected on the half-pipe attack.
Oh my god, my finger slipped!
Oh. That's sad.
Freaking sweat.
The sweaty hands incident. I'm no stranger to the sweaty hands incident, and it looks like that might have just happened to Avow's. That is gutting for him to take a step back from the personal best he put on last time out. And now we can move on to another competitor who devastatingly ran out of time right at the end of stage 1 in the last tournament. Swantron97, aka Sauron, aka the host of Abs. Swan did not expect to do as well as he did in the last tournament. I think it came as a slight surprise to him. But will that give him confidence for today's tournament? It's hard to tell when it comes to Swan. We've seen Swan beat this stage 1 twice in the past, and he's got to stage 3 before, back in tournament 20. And that's before you even think about the success he's had on Smokey's course and the wide variety of success he's had on Rog's courses. That's a hell of a good technique on the ball drop. That's going to save him a lot of time.
First real test.
And I interrupted Swan there, that's unfortunate. His first real test as he goes for the jumping spider. He gets into it nicely. Obstacles he was worried about. The first obstacle he was worried about, but he nails it. Now it's time for the half pipe. He failed this in tournament 19. He's quickly going into this one as well. He hits the head slide nicely. Doesn't do what Avow's did. No sweaty hands incident for Swan. Now for the walk to wall. Can he get up this in 1? No, he can't. This devastated Sane's run. He gets up it in 2 though.
Right here's the make or break.
The slider jump, the make or break. This is the one he was worried about most of all. He just about lands on the platform. Taking his time. This actually cost him in the last tournament. He was taking too much time on the climb and then on this dismount here, but he doesn't today. 20 seconds. Swan has the time. Swantron. 2 tournaments ago, he was a broken man on the warped wall. Leg snapped underneath him. But today, he has bounced back in style. Swan beats stage 1. 4.8 seconds left on the clock. He couldn't do it in the last tournament, coming up just short. He does do it today. The Abs host gets his first stage 1 clear since tournament 20. He took down the jumping spider that he was worried about, and maybe he was right to be worried about it, with how many other top competitors have failed it. Nailed the half-pipe attack once again, and crucially, got the slider jump without losing too much time on it this time around.
Oh. Wow.
Hey. Let's go.
I didn't think I had it in me, I'll be honest.
Hey Swan,
did
I did say that you could do it, and you did it. So I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate having you guys support. It means a lot. Yeah, I guess so.
Swan, he can now look forward to a stage 2 attempt. Swantron97 in the final Halo 5 tournament will get a crack at the second stage. And fun fact, actually, Swan's clear now means we break our streak of 24 fails in a row in the tournament. That was the longest run of failures at any point so far in the tournament, and that includes obviously the start of the tournament. Now we can move on to newcomer Little Cabbage. It's an interesting gamer tag. This man is from sunny Australia and has been trained by Killer the Man. So he's already avenged Killer by getting past the jumping spider. Now hoping to go even further. Maybe even push for a stage 1 clear, but he's got 35 seconds left. He might need to get up the wall in one, which he has done, onto the slider jump. Has Killer taught him how to do this obstacle? As he's going down, lands on it. Is he going over? Yes, he is. With 20 seconds left on the clock, this guy's got the time, but he's got to keep moving. Killer's shouting instructions in his ear, telling him to stay calm. But can this Aussie finish the job off? He's moving quickly up the rope ladder. It looks like he is going to do it. Why is he walking to the finish line? What are you doing? What are you doing? Finish! Bloody hell. 0.8 of a second left on the clock. That ended up being much closer than it needed to be. But we have our second newcomer moving on to stage 2 in this tournament. And his name is Little Cabbage. After that, we had 2 more competitors take on the course, but sadly they couldn't match up to the back-to-back stage 1 clears that we just had. Dr. Daniel needed medical attention after that run, going down on the curtain slider, and then FuryBot Prime crashed out right away at the start of the curtain slider. Now it's time for our next competitor, and there's something weird going on here. We have a wasp flying around the final stage. Is this some kind of intruder? We might need to get security on here. Could the driver please step out of the vehicle slowly with your hands up? Alright, he's getting out, and wait a minute. That's me! What's going on here? We got some sort of copycat? Alright, I think the ghost is up. It's time for a competitor I never expected to see again. Returning to Niwa for his first appearance since Tournament 16 and in a one-off appearance is the all-star X-Dom de Bomb X. Dom made quite the impression when he joined the Halo jumping community in 2011, with an intro where he shot Drago is sick to death, followed by a run that would become iconic with Dom's character. In Tournament 6, he got his first taste of success when he beat Stage 1 and then made it to the 3rd stage, but it was the transition to Halo 4 where Dom really started to establish himself as a top competitor. He became the first competitor in the course's history to make it to the 3rd stage 4 tournaments in a row, and that was part of a run of 5 Stage 3 appearances in 6 attempts. In the build-up to the final Xbox 360 tournament, Dom made the heartbreaking decision to retire from Halo jumping, and he made his final appearance in Tournament 16, where he once again made it back to the 3rd stage and produced his personal best, reaching the dismount platform of the Cliffhanger. But a unique opportunity has arisen, and now Dom is back to make this one-off appearance and, in doing so, become only the 7th competitor to reach 15 appearances on this course. Dom is looking to milk this one-off run for every second he can get. He's flying around the entire Stage 1 course in his Wasp, taking it all in, enjoying the moment, and he's finally made his way back to the start line. And what's he doing now? Dom, where are you going? The course isn't up there. What's he do? Is he going for an actual skydive entrance? I know I said skydive earlier with the jumping off of the temple for a Vows's run, but this might be a proper skydive. This is madness, Dom! He's jumped out of the Wasp, it's exploded! He's dropping! Surely he's not going to land this! Oh, yes he has! Dom! Wow, that's worthy of a replay even before the run started. What a landing! That is classic Dom, actually. You know what that is? That is just pure and simple X-Dom to Bomb X carnage. So, alright, a little bit more context here as the timer starts. So Dom actually came round to my house to do this run because it was the final Halo 5 tournament, just so he could say he's competed in one Halo 5 tournament. And then he also ended up doing a run on Smokey's course straight afterwards. Dom, 15th appearance, is using all 12 of the timbers. He knows that the rule is you don't have to use them all, but he still decided to use them all anyway. Not worrying about taking his time or using up as much time as possible. He's not here to clear stage 1. He's here to contribute and have fun. And now he's on to the ball drop. Is he going to do this backwards? He's rolling it the wrong way, so that's not a good start. Now he is doing it backwards. Oh no. He used to do this so many times with the rolling ball, the classic rolling ball back in the day on Halo Reach. But surely it's not possible to do this obstacle with the drops, and it is not. Dom drops out on the ball drop. His worst performance on this course since all the way back in Tournament 8, I want to say. Dom, well, he was here for the laughs, he was here for the trolls, and he certainly delivered that with the intro alone, to be honest. But then he went out in style, trying to do the ball backwards, but sadly he could not pull it off. Nevertheless, it was great to have him here, even as a one-off appearance on Halo 5. And who knows, maybe we'll see him again one day for a one-off appearance on Halo Infinite. But we'll worry about that in the future. For now, let's get back to some serious competitors as we move on to Mighty Max 80, back for his 5th appearance, and another competitor that tragically crashed out on the final obstacle in the last tournament. But his situation is a lot different to what we saw. You know, technically, people like Swan and Avows, they got closer to clearing stage 1 by running out of time just before they hit the buzzer. But in reality, Mighty was the one who missed out on clearing stage 1. He had the time in the bank, and just a terrible mistake cost him dearly. He should have bagged his first stage 1 clear in the last tournament. So, will that be on his mind as he looks to seek revenge here today? He is really putting on a clinic. He's through the first 3 obstacles in 30 seconds. And now going right into the jumping spider. You can tell Mighty Max has trained for this. And look at how quickly he's taking the inside of the spider, keeping up that pace in style. Time for the half-pipe attack. Can he crack this? This has defeated plenty of competitors in the past, but Mighty cut it a little bit close there. But he survives, and he has got the time in the bank. He can afford a slip up here at the warped wall, which he does suffer. But as long as he gets up it soon, which he's done on the second try, he has the time. He's just got to keep focused now for the slider jump. Going down quickly into it. It looks like he's going to go underneath. I think he did this in the last tournament as well. Takes a safe jump just to be sure. 30 seconds left on the clock. Mighty's got the time. But for the second tournament in a row, can he deliver this time? Will he be cautious? Yes, he is being cautious, crouching just to make sure he doesn't hit his head. He can afford it because of the incredibly fast pace that he had. He didn't need to crouch on that last one. That's being too cautious. But it doesn't matter. Mighty Max, 8.4 seconds left on the clock. He may have had to wait an extra tournament longer than he should have, but now he has bagged that first stage 1 clear. This long-time veteran on Spartan Sasuke matches the breakout performance he had on Smokey's course in Tournament 23 by doing the same thing here today. He clearly came with a bucket load of techniques that he pulled off to perfection, speeding through the first half of stage 1, and then despite a little slip up on the warp wall, he had the time to be cautious on the rope ladder and make sure that history did not repeat itself. And Mighty adds himself to the ever-growing list of competitors, moving on to stage 2 as our young stars of the future once again deliver here on stage 1. Now, after 70 competitors, the sun is starting to set for the final time here on Halo 5 over Mount Midoriyama, but we still have plenty of competitors left to run, and next up is the first of a small group of newcomers hoping to pull off something special on this course, starting with Caden. representing us from Ireland. Top of the morning to you, lads. Okay, sorry, anyone that was offended by that. And Caden drops out early. That was, well, I think my impression was more impressive than the run, actually. Oh, well, never mind. If I did offend anyone, at least you didn't have a run that was too long to get offended over. As we move on to the second of our newcomers, getting carried in by his friend. This is Jaxie. As I say, this is part of a group of newcomers, all hoping they can clear stage 1. Caden crashed and burned, unfortunately, but let's see if Jaxie can fare a little bit better. Of course, is Jaxie using all the steps? Is he caught? Is he afraid? This is not the confidence you need to be showing if you want to clear stage 1. Is it bad to be already putting a label on it and saying, I don't think this guy's going to clear? Or, I mean, we're already 25 seconds in and he's beaten 6 steps. I don't think this is going to be the run. Jaxie's more focused on beating this obstacle than beating the stage, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as you actually beat it. Come on, Jaxie. Let's at least beat this obstacle, man. He's on to the last step. Go for that dismount. He's taking his time. He's used up almost 50 seconds to beat the first obstacle. But he's onto the curtain slider. He'll need to go a bit quicker. He's not sprinting into it. He's still going to take his time, going to use extra bounces. But he does still get through it. Onto the ball drop. He looks at the ball. Does he know what his technique is going to be? Oh, he doesn't manage to get on the ball. What's he going to do now? He's waiting. This is not the right strategy. Jaxie's going to go for it and dive straight into the water. That was an interesting run, to say the least. That was probably a great example of a newcomer that was not confident. But Jaxie is back to support his friend Super Ninja Jake. This guy has been a big fan of this course for a long time and now gets his chance to make his debut, and he is hoping that, unlike his 2 friends before him, he can beat stage 1. He has aspirations to beat stage 1, and he's showing his intentions right from the start, flying through the first obstacle. If Jake can pull it off, then he will become the 3rd newcomer to beat stage 1 in this tournament. The last time we had 2 newcomers beat stage 1 was in tournament 16, as Jake is going to go for the technique that Jaxie wanted to do, and he pulls it off. If we get 3 newcomers clear, that'll be the first time that's happened since tournament 2. As Jake gets into the jumping spider and misses a jump. He was going too fast. Jake drops out inside the jumping spider, and another name added to the ever-growing list of jumping spider fails. In fact, the failures have been incredibly widespread, from failing the trampoline to failing inside the spider. As we now move on to the last of our group of newcomers, this is Robotic Pie, as we saw Joey watching on from the cliff sides from above, maybe trying to get a good view of this next run. As Robotic steps onto the course and, oh god, crashes out on the first step, does the worst out of the 4 newcomers. Oh well, that was, at least Jake did alright, I guess. Now we can move on from newcomers to a veteran. This is Z-Master, one of the success stories from the last tournament, as he picked up his first stage 1 clear before tragically crashing out on the first obstacle of stage 2. But a clear is still a clear, and he's finally got that rabbit off his back to finally be able to call himself a veteran on this course, having managed to do it on Smokey and Rog's course, but not on this course until now. You know what the best thing about getting a stage 1 clear is? Coming back to try and make it 2 in a row, and that's exactly what Z wants to do. He powered through the first 2 obstacles, got a little bit of trouble getting the ball rolling, but quickly dismounts and has got a great pace so far as he tackles the jumping spider. This has caused problems, but he gets into it very nicely, quickly going through the inside as well, not slowing down at all as Z goes for the dismount. Z drops out. He pulls a Nagano. Z fails the dismount of the jumping spider. I want to say that's only the 2nd competitor that's ever failed the dismount. He didn't sprint. Or if he did sprint, he didn't get a proper sprint. Z-Master, our stage 1 finisher from the last tournament, the new veteran, as I think that's Jake actually, who's just failed, watches on. Z, another competitor beaten by the jumping spider. Well, following Z's failure, we had 3 more competitors step up to the course. Beta Man, a newcomer, did manage to get past the jumping spider, only to fail the very next obstacle as he got his technique all wrong on the half-pipe attack. Then we had Kasood, the HBL player, back for his second appearance, did much better than on his newcomer attempt, but another competitor dropped out on the jumping spider. Finally, we had newcomer Hobo Solo step up to the course. He certainly wasn't Han Solo, although I wonder how Han Solo would do on this course, now that I think about it. He sadly crashed out on the ball drop when he touched the track, and his one and only appearance on this course ends in defeat before he plans to apparently start a career in Hollywood. So, good luck to him. But now we can move on to our next competitor and an intro we are very familiar with seeing from this guy. This man's looking to impress after his performance last time out, and has his eyes on another Stage 1 clear. Stepping up for his 9th appearance on the course is Crown Ferret, aka Irish. Irish was one of the feel-good stories of last tournament, as he finally managed to get that second Stage 1 clear and his first success on this course since Tournament 6.
Baby.
The longest gap
1 second,
between Stage 1 clears.
16 tournaments.
A 16 tournament
Great job.
Keep it down.
Irish.
Sorry.
Yes, as was said there, a jumping record was made as Irish set the longest gap ever between Stage 1 clears at 16 tournaments. Unfortunately, since his most recent appearance, that record has been broken first by Same the Legend on Rog's course, who managed to clear after a 17 tournament gap, and then the record may have got broken again by Snars with a 19 tournament gap. But, you know, aside from that, Irish did briefly have the record, and now he's back again today, hoping to achieve something else that he hasn't achieved, which is clear Stage 1 2 tournaments in a row on this course. Now, can Irish do it? I would love to see Irish do it, but not that I want to put any unnecessary pressure on Irish, but the last time he found himself in this position in Tournament 7, he failed Stage 1 and then disappeared for 6 years. Not that I'm saying that if he fails Stage 1 here, that's going to happen, you know, but I kind of hope Irish clears here. I dread to think I don't want Irish to disappear for another 6 years. Let's put it that way. So no pressure, Irish, but let's hope you get the job done. But this is a guy that always wears his heart on his sleeve, and he admitted he is nervous for this run. He's got to nail his techniques and keep focused. This is a man, a bit like what we saw from Mighty Max earlier, who has a plan coming into any course with very specific sort of techniques as he gets into the jumping spider. Ooh, little slide there. Don't think that was part of his game plan, but he recovers nicely. Yeah, he's got very specific techniques for certain obstacles that worry him. Like this half-pipe attack, he takes a short run-up, keeps it straight and true, and gets into the head slide and quickly dismounts to save himself some more time. Now for the warped wall. Can he nail this in one? Oh, no, he can't. Come on, Irish. 35 seconds left on the clock. Gets it on the second try, though. He has still got the time, but he can't mess around. Slider jump. Beat this in the last tournament. Can he do it again? He gets on nicely. Taking his time just a little bit for the climb. 20 seconds left. Irish is now in a race with the clock. Can he make it 2 Stage 1 clears in a row? For the ferret. For the Irishman that's not really an Irishman. 10 seconds as the klaxon sounds. He's still climbing. 5 seconds. This is going to be close for Irish. Can he get the job done? Yes, he can. Just in time. 0.8 of a second left, just like we saw from Little Cabbage. But Irish does make it just in time. Whew.
It's gonna happen.
Oh my god.
That's clear.
Come on! Let's go! Yes! Oh, so
Let's
go. I was
Let's
shaking
go.
the whole freaking room.
1.8
I'm gonna guess
seconds left. 1.1.
Oh!
0.8.
0.8?
I go so
Oh, no.
fast in practice, and I went so freaking. I wasted an attempt at the wall.
Nicely
That's what
done,
burned me.
Irish. So that's what, 2 stage 1 clears in a row?
2 in a row.
He was feeling the nerves, but he delivers under pressure, and just within the time limit. Nicely done, Irish. And as he says, 2 stage 1 clears in a row for the first time in his Niwa career. As we now move on to Phil, the all-star could be better. He had his landmark 20th appearance in the last tournament, the first competitor to reach that, as Phil almost tries to jump the gun. He's done that a few times in his career on this course. As he starts his, oh my goodness, as he starts his 21st campaign here on Niwa. I almost said on the Niwa course. I mean, it still works either way. Yes, but he became the first competitor ever to reach 20 appearances on this course, and he was looking so good in the last tournament, but just simplest of mistakes on the slider jump, miscalculated, ended up falling down the middle of the head slide and getting himself disqualified. He had the time to clear. Phil is going quickly into the jumping spider. This has cost some competitors, but not Phil. He just about survives. His feet were hanging off the back there a little bit. Thank goodness he forgot to cut his he didn't cut his toenails. As he goes onto the half-pipe attack, he struggled with this in the past. He's failed it twice before. He just about gets into the head slide. And what's he doing? Okay, I mean, he didn't hit the stopper, the bounce back, and he's completely confused what to do. As he now goes for the warped wall. He's been going pretty fast, actually, but he burns his first attempt at the wall. Oh, almost gets it on the second try. Third time's the charm, yes! With 32 seconds left on the clock, he has got the time. But now he has to keep focused. Doesn't go down the middle. Can he land it? Yes, he can. Phil is taking more time. What are you doing? Get climbing. Oh my goodness, what's he doing? He's got even less time than Irish did. But Irish was a little bit slow on the rope ladder. So Phil maybe still has a chance here, and he's going quick as the klaxon sounds. Phil, can he make it? It's going to be close again. Phil, the All-Star, has done it. 1.1 seconds left on the clock. He zooms up the rope ladder. Phil, the All-Star, has beaten stage 1 for the first time since tournament 16. I need to gather myself there. This is incredible. Phil has finally got that first stage 1 clear on Halo 5 on the Xbox One after painful defeat. He finally puts a run together where he gets it all right. It wasn't smooth sailing with that weird incident on the half pipe, slip-ups on the warped wall, but who cares? Phil, after all those defeats, has finally put it all together. And for all the young, new faces we have moving on to stage 2, at long last, we have not just one of the experienced guns, but the most experienced competitor of all time moving back on to stage 2. Great stuff from Phil. Phil's grand return to stage 2 means we have had 80 competitors step up, and 10 competitors are already moving on to stage 2. With newcomer Little Cabbage and returning competitor Mighty Max moving on, that now makes it 7 competitors beating stage 1 for their first time, tying the record originally set in tournament 14, whilst the established stars from the past are also showing off their skills in joining the others on stage 2. There's not been too much change to the top of the leaderboard, with Sonic still holding the fastest time, ahead of Booker, Joey and Wolf Ninja, with Mighty Max adding his name to the leaderboard with his first stage 1 clear. Swantron is moving back onto stage 2 for his first time since tournament 20, with Phil, as we know, returning for his first time since tournament 16, whilst Little Cabbage and Irish both cleared with identical stage 1 clear times. With 10 competitors already through, and some of the best runners in the field still yet to take to the course, could we have a chance at breaking 20 plus stage 1 clears for the second time in Niwa history? Could we have a chance at breaking the all-time Stage 1 clear record? You'll have to join us next time, guys, to find out. But until then, I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you have, like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time for the finale of Stage 1 here in Tournament 23. Until then, guys, I've been Hunt Unit 751. We'll see you guys next time.